With a young team, how do you keep Saturday night from becoming, staying a building block and not becoming a sense of a rival? We've got to figure it out.
Told them, man, guess what? I said, you guys can't get arrogant about this. So, just to tell them that, you know, can't be any arrogance here. You guys fought, you played with unbelievable spirit in the second half, and you beat a really good team on the road. Now you got to build on it. So you talk about it, but we don't know. I mean, until the game is, you throw the ball up and we see if they understand that's how you have to attempt to play every game, that kind of fight.
Is the offensive thing in part with Jared the biggest sign of the rust of not playing for a long time?
Yeah.
More than anything else, just that.
Yeah, and just him getting comfortable, you know, where he needs to. You could see he's questioning his ability to make baskets and stuff right now, but he's just hadn't played. I mean, he did practice. It wasn't like he was practicing, and so he only had like 1 or 2 practices, and now it's just, you know, it's a dogfight for him, and trying to get him, but 11 rebounds. I mean, getting every ball, defending the way he does. Just, we got to figure it out offensively, and together, he and me and the staff.
I remember you posted him up sometime.
Yeah, but he's missing baskets around the goal. So
I just wonder what his spot is.
We're trying to figure it out. We don't know. Yeah.
After the game, you said DJ had some kind of injury. Any update on him? What was going on?
I think he'll be fine. It was a knee or something that was slowing him down, and we just couldn't have anybody play 80 or 90%. You can't. We're either bringing it or we got to go without you. And the good news now is with a full roster, we can do that. It's hard when you were playing 6 and 7 guys and 2 in foul trouble and you got 5 guys. That made it tough.
Not good, excessive, aggressive the other night.
Well, they opened up the court for him, and it was really more of a one-on-one game than it was a crowded court and him having to drive. So we still have stuff we got to get after. But they opened up the court and it made the game, and, you know, and then we put him up the court so he didn't have to mess around and be a finisher, and he did a good job.
What is the skill set of Jared that enables any athlete to get 11 rebounds in 11 minutes? What's special about him?
Physically tough. He's got a quick twitch, quick to balls. Mind moves great. He sees things before where the ball's going and gets there. And like I said, we just got to put him on different spots on the floor and then figure out what works for him offensively. Maybe we put him in some pick and rolls. We just try different things until we look and say, there you go. He's most comfortable. And I really believe when he gets comfortable, all these shots that he's missing will go in. He's just uncomfortable right now.
John, you destroyed him on the boards in the second half. Did you change something at halftime, or is that just desperation?
When you know, you have different people. You know, we had some guys that played a lot of minutes and got 1 rebound, and now all of a sudden, you know, what you find out is, in most cases, that effort is that denominator that, you know, if you're doing that and you're really making the effort to attempt to go get balls. I thought Nick played pretty good, rebounded in the second half. Kevin Knox had 7 rebounds, some of them in traffic. So that's what we have to be as a team. But you guys missed, the reason we won is in the second half we guarded. We held them to 30-some%, out-rebounded them, and we were able to guard them because we didn't have unforced turnovers, which led to 5 for 5 in transition. They're dunks and layups. So unforced turnovers, you have a turnover that's not unforced, usually you'll have guys back and you're okay. Unforced, they're breakouts. And it's, you can't, you kill yourself defensively on top of it. We started the game sloppy. And then, you know, again, talked about it. You want to win the game, you got to be strong with it. And unforced turnovers got to be eliminated.
Cal, other than his outlet pass to the other team, Hamadou, it seemed like when you guys made your move, he was the guy who, energy-wise,
Hamadou was kind of challenging. Let me just tell you,
and
for the first, and he did great at that. He was, the biggest thing he did, he went to guard. I got him. and then he took pride in it. Now, he's never done that, and I've watched him in high school. To get screened, you score on them, that's okay. No, this was, you're not scoring on them. And I told him in front of the team, it's the first time I've seen you do it. Big step for him. That's a big step. Take on the, why shouldn't you be one of the best defenders? And not foul. Don't get screened. Don't come over with an excuse. The guy scored on you 3 straight times. In that game, no, there was no excuse. I'm guarding this guy. I was proud of him. And that's what this is all about. Everything is a learning experience, but then they've got to say, okay, what did I just learn? And self-reflecting on your performance, what did I just learn? I said to this, to the team, Wenyan, how did you play? He said, good, and I just stopped. You played really good. You played unbelievably good. Your tip that gave Kevin Knox a chance to get fouled probably won the game, and the play before you tipped in. You were and you were 1 for 7 and couldn't hit the side of a barn. It shows you it doesn't matter. You all worry about the wrong things. I had 3 calls on Wendy Gabriel. Like, man, that's the kid, and he's slender, but he still fights, and he's it. Trying to get them to think the right way, and then just come together and be about each other. That game, there was a desperation, and again, anybody that could not stay up with it, we just didn't play. For whatever reason, boom, okay, now let's go. And that was what you saw. And then we got on a run, and, and they still, like the thing, they made 3 threes now. And some of them were bombs. And we still won, so.
Cal, to that point about, William doing it, not making any shots. We talked about Jared doing it, not making any shots. How often do you break out the Anthony Davis championship game and either
I've
tape
done it
or
already,
story?
too, but they weren't ready to listen to it. They were not. Look, I'm going to tell you again, and again, all the years I've done this. Young kids are trying to define who they are as a player. Their thoughts are not on what this team needs and talking, and they're trying to establish themselves as a player. When they get by that and stop worrying about establishing yourself, play the way you have to play for us to win, you're going to help yourself and help your team, it starts coming together. Some teams it takes longer. Sometimes, I think it was the 14 team where I had to get a couple guys to play totally different, and they listened because we were dying, and then it brought everyone else in check, and then we became that team everybody expected us to be. This one is kind of the same. Like, you got all new guys, all trying to figure out who they are individually, and it's natural. It's not, I'm not being mean and I'm not being, it is natural. And then there comes a point where they say, I got to stop worrying about this because I'm doing fine, and let's worry about each other. And then they find out, wow, the game's easier when I don't worry about myself, and and it's easier for me, and we're all having a ball. But that, sometimes you got to get hit in the mouth a couple times, sometimes you got to be right up against it, and that's kind of where we are.
So I know in the Mississippi State game and the last game, guys were smiling on the court. Is that part of it, telling them just to kind of enjoy it as well?
Well, when you step in the ring, okay, and you're confident and smiling, and that dude hits you 4 straight times, your smile goes. It's hard to smile when the other team's the aggressor and you're not getting after it. Smiling is, let's go, I got this. Not like, I'm cool, and then you step in the ring, you get bashed 3 times. They want to have fun, you do it together, you do it for each other, and you play your heart out. You will have a ball. You ready? That's really hard though. Can I just shoot some balls and shoot a hook? And can you just let me do my M1 tape and the rest of the guys can watch me? Because I have fun when I do that. This is a learning experience for these guys. So having fun, you can't say it that way because they think if he just lets me shoot every ball, I'm going to have a ball. They don't, you have to explain, and then they have to feel it like they did last game. The tape I showed them yesterday was the bench. From the 7-minute mark to the rest of the game, all we kept showing was the bench, on baskets made, on defensive stops, on running off the floor. Look at you guys, you get it, you're happy. Kevin Knox, when he walked in the locker room after the game, the whole team mobbed him. You ready for this? They mobbed Nick. They mobbed Nick. And I said, Nick, now you know, they all are happy for you. They all want you to do well. This is the greatest thing, and I talked to him. I'm not subbing you anymore. There's a rotation. So when anybody calls you, every time you make a mistake, you miss a shot, he takes a shot. It's not him, I'm in a rotation and he's not doing it. All right, I gotta go, bye. Taking that off the table. And this is your responsibility to play with spirit, play with passion. If you're not gonna do that, you're out. It's your responsibility together, collectively, to make this game easy for each other. We're not doing anything that's crazy hard. I like how we defended. We didn't play zone. One out of bounds play, we played zone, the kid got a 3 in the corner. We play man-to-man, and we guarded. And we guarded a team that's an efficient team, a really good team. So,
How's Vanderbilt changed since losing Fisher Davis the first time you played him?
I'm just telling you, I watched tape, and they're playing good. Now, they weren't starting him until our game. So I don't know why that was, but I just watched Tennessee. They were down 20 and should have won the game. I mean, I had to watch it twice, like, how'd they do this? They were down 20, and I'm talking in 20 minutes, they got it to a 2-point game. And then they had the ball with, you know, and then the TCU game, from tip to the finish, TCU couldn't guard them. And TCU, ready for this? Shot 60%, out-rebounded them by 10 and lost the game. They made 11 threes. Listen, this league, 9, I'm going to even throw out maybe 10 teams should be in. Here's an issue. When we beat each other, or we get beat, it's like, in other leagues, not as good as our league, a team will lose 2 or 3 games, and they're fine. I mean, we've got to get by this. We should have 10 teams in.
Do you think that winning the Big 12 Challenge helps you in that regard?
No, heck no. It's what you all say and write, and now you got to, what? I mean, all I know is South Carolina, 2 teams we lost to, South Carolina is good. They had a chance to win their game. They go to Florida and win. What are you going to tell me, Florida's no good? Florida they beat somebody by 25. I mean, we're all pretty good teams. And if you beat each other, it shouldn't be a fluctuation like it is in this league. I mean, it's incredible. In other leagues, you lose 3 and you're fine. Yeah, tough schedule. Oh, those guys are tough. Hard road game, tough.
Don't you build up that reputation over time, though, what you guys did in the tournament last year, then you win some early non-conference games?
Well, when you look at it,
you win this challenge.
You look at it, strength of schedule in this league and all that stuff. The numbers prove it, and that's what they use in others, but in ours, well, those numbers, you know. I saw this one. Well, they were really close games. Were we getting beat by 50? Well, that was really close. It is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, the good news, you got to get in the ring and play. It ain't playing. It's a fight. You're going to have to get in the ring. I'm just saying, for your general thoughts, and maybe chew on what I'm saying a little bit, and think about, yeah, maybe some of you will come up with your numbers to prove it wrong, and you're wrong again, because people will laugh at you, so please do it. And others will look at it and say, you know what, it's right. I don't get it. And you just holding people accountable that way, where I told my team, is it their hope or their opinion? Their hope or their opinion? I don't know. Let's just go play another game and see how we do. Thanks.